child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Yeah, put your lighters up. Ooh,
I don't have
child,
no lighter.
things are gonna get easier. Hey, y'all. We had to start it off, we damn near at a war, so we had to start things off on a light note. We giving good energies, we putting the lighters up. Shout out to our people. Renita and I thought that it would be a really, really good idea for just a quick little snippet for Sis Glow Up. Make sure y'all are tuning in every other Wednesday. We wanted to give you all like just a quick little segment from each of one of our respective shows. And tonight we're doing What Would You Do? Renita, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Girl, okay. So this one, I ain't gonna lie to you. This might strike a chord with you, baby. This might be the one. So this one is entitled, My Friend Only Hits Me Up to Talk About His Issues. Me and him have been very close for over 6 years. I'm in my early 20s and he's 30. He's a lovely guy. I have no problems with him at all. But for the last year, he seems to only call me when he wants to rant/vent about his issues. I'm happy to listen, but it's getting a bit annoying. He keeps constantly trauma sharing, etc. When we call, he rants for 2 hours and doesn't even let me reply, and then just ends the call shortly after ranting. He used to have normal conversations with me, but now it's mostly all about him. We all have issues, and I'm happy to lend an ear, but I don't want to be a personal diary. He has more friends than me and a partner. Therefore, he has a support network. I care for him, but I am just tired. And I also feel that I'm being used. Am I selfish? How do I explain this to him without getting offended? What would you do?
First of all, his is he the support system for all of those people, or are they his support system? Because if he feels comfortable with calling you all the time with his problems, he may never get that space to actually, dump. On the other hand, you have to protect your energy as well. So you should have that conversation with him. And if he's against it or he has some type of angst against you, then maybe you should just take a break, and protect your energy.
I've actually been in the situation more times than I would like to admit, with just having people that are they call and like you said, they just dump. So I have, and then I've also had people where it's just like, I've called them to talk to them about things. And I think the first thing that we have to be conscious of and that we have to do when we are in a space where we do need someone to talk to is to make sure that whoever we're speaking with, they have the time and that they have the capacity to take on whatever it is that you're about to share with them. So
Mhm.
I will ask my friends, I'm just like, is right now a good time to talk? I kind of need to speak about some things or get some things off of my chest. Now, my friends are going to respond in one way. Hey, girl, what's up? What's going on? Or, you know what, sis, right now is not a good time, but I can get back in touch with you at blah, 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 blah time. I think that we have to make sure that before we get to a place where we're dumping on people, you got to make sure that they can actually take that in, because
Exactly.
sometimes people are going through their own stuff, right?
Right. Right. And I feel like that, like if she's in that space, she should communicate that and not keep trying to pour her while she's empty. That's her problem. She feels empty. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
filled up, he calls and she's empty. And she's irritated by that. But if she don't
Yeah,
say anything, she's just gonna continue coming up empty.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the first thing is to just have a conversation or just, Renita, you and I shared with you on one of the last, like, sis glow ups about the fact that, like, I had the friend that, before saying some offensive things, it was just like, they just only were focused on themselves within the conversation. And I'm just like, hey, yo, bing bong, I'm here too. I want to have a conversation. And now I've just gotten a little bit more vocal about it, where I'm just like, okay, if we've sat on the phone for 90 minutes and you talked 80 minutes of those times and then you rush through my part of the conversation, well, I may not pick up your phone call, or I may not do that. Or I will let somebody know from the jump, you know what? I'm overwhelmed today. and I may not be able to efficiently listen to you or help you during this time. So why don't we schedule a time to talk? Um,
Right.
and then, I'm not even gonna lie. I have since I've started therapy last year, I have been a very big advocate of get you a therapist because I'm not licensed. I love the fact that you can talk to me about things, but you ranting about the same thing. There's nothing that I could do as far as that's concerned. Seek professional help.
Especially if you're stuck. And sometimes I find people just take themselves through the same scenario. You ever just met that friend that like invites toxicity into their life? Like they'll be doing fine and they'll be like whistling, like, oh, that's toxic. I gotta have it. And then they call you and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
no, we just talked about this.
Or they dealing with the same dude that's been knocking them upside their damn head or abusing them or cheating on them in some type of way or doing something and they know that it's bad and they have an out, but they continue to keep dealing with it and then they want to call screaming and hollering and crying on the phone with you. Baby, if you don't go and lay up under that dude and stop talking to me, stop. Like, and it's not to be insensitive. Like, I will listen to anybody, but a lot of the times I'll tell you where I get in trouble, Renita.
Well, you get in trouble.
I've had a lot of people say this to me, and you even said it too at one point that, like, girl, I was calling to rant. I wasn't calling for solutions. I'm a solution based resolution type of person. I'm like, okay, if you talk to me about it more than, I'll give you 2 or 3 times. You are welcome to get it off your chest and do all that other stuff. But after that third time, I'm trying to ask you and see where your mind is and when are you ready for a change? Because if you're just calling me to talk about the same thing or whatever the case is, we need to A, switch gears, or B, you got to seek help elsewhere. I only have a small capacity. So I'm like, look, don't keep talking to me about these trash situations and you don't want to do anything about it because I'm never going to be able to help you. I can't help you sit in, stuff that's not a place of solace.
That's true, and that's where therapy comes in because the therapist can help you realize the deep-rooted problem. Like, why are you attracted to toxicity? Why are you staying in that abusive relationship? What is it about you that thinks that's okay? And you're right, that's where professional help come in because as a friend, you can only do so much. You can only listen so much, you know.
Exactly.
And that's why I preface that, like, because I have a lot of solution-based friends. And even with my husband, I say, look, I don't want any solution. I just want to rant. And he'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, what happened? I had to do that because I used to get irritated when people gave me unsolicited advice. So that is why I started,
Yeah.
look, this is nonsensical. This is nothing that I'm even this don't even matter. But I just want to
Right.
vent about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right. Right. And I mean, I get it. I get it completely. That's why I was like, I just, for me, I try to, like, let's get some disclaimers out the way. Let me know what you need from me at this moment because it's like if you just want to get it off your chest, then that's fine. But for me, I'm fine with the rants, and even if they are repeated rants, if you're also allowing me a space where I can do the same, right? Like, so
exactly.
I will say that if you and I have a conversation and say you had a janky day and I've had a janky day, or you've dealt with the butthole and I've dealt with the butthole, we can have those conversations and you not just like, yeah, girl, I've been talking to you for 45 minutes, but okay, bye. I'm finna, now I feel lighter and I done dumped all my shit on you. So yeah, I don't really care about your day, but I'll talk to you next time when I'm bitching about something. Like, we don't have conversations like that. It's very balanced. So it could just be like, hey, girl, Renita, I done had a messed up day. How's your day going? Well, sis, I had a messed up day too. Okay, how can we uplift each other during this time? I am
Right.
all about you gotta match the energies sometimes. And not in a bad way, but when you recognize the energy is not for you, girl, stop picking up the phone a few times. Just be like, you know what? I sensed in my spirit that you was probably having a hard time and I was having a rough day myself. I didn't have the capacity. And see what your friends say.
They
That's
should
what I would do.
understand if they care about your energy as well. They should understand. But then there are those instances where you really are down, and it will be unbalanced sometimes in a relationship, right? Like
Right.
for instance, when I lost my cousin, there were a lot of bad days during that time where you just sat and listened to me talk about that. And I know death is extreme,
That's
but
different. That's a different.
that's just the point of there will be some times where it is unbalanced, and that's fine. The problem is when it remains unbalanced. like it never calibrates. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
never equalizes. You
Yeah.
know, but and that's just how it is sometimes in a friendship. But you
Okay.
have to know within yourself how much you can take. But
Yeah.
once you determine that, you should talk to your friend and set those boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. I'm all for being there for a friend, but in this season that I'm in personally, I'm making sure that those things are being reciprocated and that
Mm-hmm.
they're being reciprocated at a level that makes sense for the relationship. Like, done are the days that we are giving more and then still leaving certain situations or relationships with a deficit. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you feel drained talking to somebody, just be like, look, bitch, is it anything that makes you happy? I don't mean to curse, but I mean, honestly, like, and I can be a little bit abrasive sometimes. I think to, some of my friends, or at least that's some of the feedback that I've heard, because I'm
What,
just like,
spicy?
you said what?
Spicy?
I can be a little bit spicy because I'm
No,
just
I'm
like
just
this.
making fun of you because you said that about me once.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if it's spicy, it's spicy. If it's not nicey, it's not nicey. Like, I'm gonna call it out. But if we're talking about the same thing, you know, how can we get through this? You know what I'm saying? Or I'll stop, or I'll just be like, yeah, and I had a great day.
Well, first of
Because
all, the conversation should start off, "Hi, how are you doing?" It should not start off talking about your problem. So they should already know where you're at and how you're feeling before you start the venting.
I agree.
Because if I
I agree.
call you and I say, "Hey, Michi, how you doing?" and you're like, "Oh, girl, this is a rough day," that's when I assess if I'm even going to share or not, because you might not be in the energy for that. So the reason why people miss that mark is because they don't even start off right. They don't even start off thinking about the person that they're calling or what the other person is going through, and
I
that's how
agree.
you miss that mark every time.
Yeah, but people that are not considerate, or that are a little bit narcissistic in their
Mm-hmm.
approach, they don't know how to look outside of themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
personally, where I'm at in my life is that I don't have room for it anymore, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
because I've recognized that I've had like certain conversations with people that were once friends or that I was once close with, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm going through it. Like, I'm like, y'all got me feeling depressed and sad myself, and that's a problem for me. I'm unable to identify with that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in this situation, as far as with this, what would you do? Definitely have the conversation. I tell people all the time, approach people with harsh conversations with a level of compassion that you would want if the shoe was on the other foot. So, I would just let that friend know this is a safe space, and that's fine. But sometimes I need us to do a little bit of a check in. I need you to make sure that I'm at a place where I can take in what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
register it, and be there for you. And then I also need you to take a moment and take a pause to check on me, because I'm going through things just as you are.
Exactly. Exactly. This was a good question.
Yes, ma'am. Meow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Girl, now what type of cat was that?
Girl, a tired one. He don't even have the energy to meow.
But y'all make sure y'all follow us, or whatever the case is, on all platforms. Follow Blueprint BP Media Co. everywhere. You can follow me, your girl Miss Michi, MZMETCHI, on all platforms. Renita, where can they find you at?
Um, just hit me up on Instagram, your own kind. Also, my
Yeah,
site, www.beyourownkind.com. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter so you can keep up with everything BYOK.
period. Bye, y'all.
Bye.